He was the golden boy of tennis. What happened to Denis Shapovalov? The kid who was supposed to take over tennis. Every tennis generation has that guy, the teenager who shows up, swings fearlessly, embarrasses legends, and leaves fans convinced they've just witnessed the future of the sport. For the late 2019s, that player was Denis Shapovalov, a flying left-hander with flowing blonde hair, a one-handed backhand that looked straight out of a Roger Federer highlight reel, and enough shot-making ability to make commentators lose their voices. Shapovalov wasn't just exciting, he was box office entertainment. Watching him felt like watching someone who had accidentally turned the difficulty settings off. Winners came from impossible angles. He attacked every ball as if defense was illegal. He played with the confidence of someone who genuinely believed every shot could be a highlight. The tennis world was convinced it had found its next superstar. So, how did one of the most gifted young players of his generation go from being tennis's golden boy to spending years fighting just to stay relevant? Let's find out. The rise of a future champion. Shapovalov's rise wasn't normal. Long before he reached the ATP Tour, he was already one of the brightest junior prospects in the world. Winning the Wimbledon boys singles title confirmed what many coaches already believed: Canada had another special talent on its hands. Then came the moment that changed everything. In 2017, an 18-year-old wildcard walked onto court at the Montreal Masters and stunned none other than Rafael Nadal. Not just any Nadal, the Nadal who was dominating the tour again. The tennis world couldn't believe what it was seeing. Shapovalov played fearless, attacking tennis that overwhelmed one of the greatest competitors the sport has ever known. Almost overnight, he became one of the biggest names in tennis. Fans didn't just think he could become great. Many believed greatness was inevitable. The perfect style with one huge problem. At first glance, he had everything: explosive serves, massive forehand, elegant one-handed backhand, lightning movement, fearless mentality. He looked like a left-handed version of Federer mixed with modern power. But there was one issue hiding beneath all the highlight reels. His game was built almost entirely on risk. Every point felt like an attempt to hit the shot of the year. When it worked, it was breathtaking. When it didn't, it became a disaster. Unlike the very best players, Shapovalov rarely adjusted his tactics when things weren't going his way. Champions don't simply hit incredible shots. They solve problems. They recognize patterns. They know when to attack. And more importantly, they know when not to. That evolution never fully arrived.
If you've stayed with us this far, it means you're finding real value in this content. Please take a moment to like the video. This helps YouTube recommend it to more viewers so others can benefit as well. And be sure to stay with us until the very end because we have a special gift waiting for you. Now, let's get back to the video.
The missing piece. One thing separates the elite from the merely talented: consistency. That's where Shapovalov struggled the most. On a good day, he could beat almost anyone. He has victories over some of the biggest names in tennis and has produced performances that looked worthy of a Grand Slam champion. But tennis seasons aren't won on your best days. They're won by surviving your average ones. The greatest players find ways to win even when their timing disappears. They defend, they grind, they simplify, they problem solve. Shapovalov often remained committed to high-risk tennis regardless of the situation. If the winners were flying, fantastic. If the errors started piling up, unfortunately they often kept piling up. Instead of adapting, he frequently became trapped by his own style. It made him one of the most dangerous opponents in any single match, but one of the hardest players to trust over an entire tournament. Talent alone isn't enough. For years, many believed maturity would eventually solve everything. The expectation was simple. Once Shapovalov became mentally stronger, everything else would click. After all, tennis history is full of players who blossomed later in their careers. Even now, at just 26 years old, he's still young enough to write a completely different ending to his story. But modern tennis waits for nobody. While Shapovalov searched for consistency, players from his generation and even younger stars continued improving year after year. The ATP Tour has become incredibly competitive. Every player now has elite fitness teams, data analysts, sports psychologists, nutritionists, recovery experts. Standing still in today's game often feels like moving backwards, and that's exactly the challenge Shapovalov has faced. The courts changed too. To be fair, not every obstacle has been self-inflicted. Shapovalov himself has spoken about how the slowing of tennis courts over recent years has affected his game. His style depends on first strike tennis. He wants quick points, he wants to rush opponents, he wants to take time away. Slower courts make that much harder. They give defenders extra time, they extend rallies, they reward patience over aggression. Unfortunately for Shapovalov, patience has never really been his strongest weapon. The injury that nearly changed everything. Just when things seemed difficult enough, another challenge arrived. A knee injury derailed his momentum, and by 2024, his ranking had fallen outside the world's top 100. For many players, that's the beginning of a long and painful climb back. Some never recover. To his credit, Shapovalov deserves enormous respect for what happened next. He fought his way back. His performances throughout 2024 and 2025 showed resilience that many people overlooked. He even captured the biggest title of his career in Dallas, producing tennis that genuinely resembled a top 10 player. For a moment, it felt like the old Shapo had returned. Unfortunately, he couldn't sustain that level throughout the season. The flashes remained, the consistency didn't. Can he still become elite? As we move through 2026, the question isn't whether Denis Shapovalov is talented. Everyone already knows the answer. He's one of the most naturally gifted players on the planet. The real question is whether talent can still be transformed into sustained greatness this late in his development. Breaking into the world's top 10 requires something extraordinary, not just spectacular shot making, but emotional control, tactical intelligence, adaptability, relentless consistency. Those are the areas where Shapovalov still has room to grow. If he finally puts those pieces together, nobody will enjoy facing him. But if things remain the same, he may always be remembered as one of tennis's greatest what-if stories. Final thoughts. Denis Shapovalov wasn't overhyped. The talent was and still is very real. We've all seen what he can do when everything clicks. The problem is that tennis isn't won by brilliance alone. It's won by showing up every single week, solving problems under pressure, and finding ways to win even when your best tennis isn't there. That's the difference between highlight reels and Grand Slam trophies. Shapovalov's story isn't finished yet. At 26, there's still time for another chapter. But the clock is ticking, and the ATP Tour has never been more competitive. The Golden Boy still has the talent. Now he needs the consistency to match it. If he finds it, don't be surprised if the tennis world starts talking about Denis Shapovalov all over again. As promised, take a moment to check out the description for exceptional products and supplements aimed at enhancing your performance, and use promo code YT20 for 20% off your first order. Also, follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more captivating content. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep dive into the biggest stories in tennis. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.